government is not in the business of the embassy. Fundamental focus here is not to make money. We're not going around to make money. What the embassy is doing through the government of the Republic of Liberia is to bring you knowledge. And that knowledge, once obtained, it serves as a gateway to invest in Liberia. So we'd rather be at a losing end, but gaining by the influx of Liberians and potential investors that will attend these conferences. So I just want to say, if we're making money, it would have been $1,000 to come in. Ironically, it's $50. You will be flying from state to state and charging people $50. $50 just cover the perhaps the food you're going to eat today. But at least you have to pay for your own food. So it's not about making money. It's about bringing you information so that you become informed, well-informed, and position yourself to take advantage of all of the facts that are being brought to you. So that is a key point I like to stress. So when you leave from here, please help us to make ratification as to what we are saying. We're not making money. We're not in the business of making money. We're in the business of letting you know that Liberia believes in an open door policy. And it's time, the time is right, based on the President's international credential, her moral imperative, her moral authority to lead Liberia from the dungeon to prosperity. I thank you.
Make sure the government understands that from their perspective, the value of the investment is to increase productivity and not provide cheap food to urban consumers. Thus, food prices need to be relatively market-oriented, and as productivity increases, food aid should significantly reduce rice as a component. Thus, this reduction is necessary to eliminate any disincentive to the local investor or farmer. Fortunately, in Liberia, bulgur wheat is already an important component of food aid and serves as a self-targeting commodity for the poor.
I have a question to the panel. Can you give us any suggestions on organizations that we can reach out to provide consultative services on the doing agricultural activities in Liberia, and also suggestions on places to go to get seed donations?
One place you can contact the Minister of Agriculture, and you can do that by either calling, for the time being, you can do that by either calling either the minister directly, or I can give you my number. You can contact me, and my number is 06491-629. That's my Liberian number. My 06491-629. You can also contact Mr. Toe, Christopher Toe. His email address is jchristo27@yahoo.com. Another place you can find, okay, one more time. jchristo, all one word. Chris, C-H-R-I-S. Toe, T-O-E. Okay, 27@yahoo.com.
My name is Albert Cooper. I'm from the beautiful city of Jacksonville, the love of Florida. My question goes to the area of agriculture. Minister Akedi there, I used to work with Minister of Agriculture when I was there in statistics when you were my minister at the time. To you, Mr. Boagai, what percentage of the government budget is allocated for the Ministry of Agriculture? And what are some of your programs that you have already initiated that will give encouragement to those who want to go there and invest? And what are those opportunities available for those who are willing to go home and make investment in programs? Thank you.
Thank you. One thing that's happened with this new budget is that agriculture is like the second to public works, because in the development structure, in terms of budget performance, for the first time, agriculture has been given a bigger slice of the budget. Offhand, I cannot remember the percentage, but agriculture is next to public works. Public works lead then it's agriculture. Maybe Mr. Shannon can say a little bit more on the percentage. But the different programs we have, right now we have a seed multiplication site going on, or a lot of seed multiplication to try to introduce the farmers to more and better variety of rice. The only thing that we try to avoid, and we tell people, if you come in to do investment, we want to avoid GMO, which is genetically modified organism, because what they do is, you do that and you have to continue importing in the genetically modified seeds, and we don't want that. We want to continue with ours and try to improve on it. And there are other opportunities we have, like I mentioned, fishery. We are looking right now, most of our fishery products are being taken out of Liberia and shipped to other countries because we don't have any way to monitor the ocean, the different vessels. I'll give you one alarming statistics. UNMIL, which is the United Nations military mission in Liberia, the Bureau of National Fishery has about 45 vessels that are registered. UNMIL says that on any given day, they see about 250 to 300 vessels on the sea fishing. So that just tell you, most of the fish and shrimp that you eat outside, they're from Liberia.
Good morning. I'd like to ask the panelists to please come forward at this time, and we have two actually for today. Dr. Albert B. Coleman, Vice President, Government Relations, Communities and Schools of Georgia, and Mr. Derek Kayengo, CARE USA. Unfortunately, please let them come. Unfortunately, Dr. Romeo Massoud, trauma surgeon here in Gwinnett Health Systems in Atlanta, had a trauma issue that he was dealing with this morning, so he is not going to be able to make it. I will try my best to stand in and talk a little bit about the state of health in Liberia in just a moment, but I want to make sure that we recognize the panel. They have spent numerous hours and days preparing to talk a little bit about health and education in Liberia. My name is Cynthia Nash, and I am a part of the host committee here. I have a great love for Liberia. I spent some time in Liberia when I was 18 years old, and I've carried that love for the country for I won't tell you how many years, but for many, many years. I won't tell you how many years. So I'm delighted to be here today, and on behalf of the host committee, thank you for your participation. We're trying to move things along a little bit. We got a little bit of a late start, so we appreciate your patience. To the Honorable Ambassador Charles Minor, to the members of the ministry and cabinet and government officials, friends, thank you so much for being here. And to our Georgia Tech students, they have really filled in the gap. We appreciate them. They've helped out with our technology this morning. They've been hosts and hostesses, and they're taking notes, so we'll have an outcome paper that we can share as a part of the deliverable for this particular forum, which is very important. We want to make sure, as the ambassador said, that what are the takeaways? We have some deliverable for you, so we'll have some benchmarks and timelines that will primarily come through the Liberian American Partnership Initiative under the leadership of Mr. Wilfred Harris, the president. So can we please give the Georgia Tech students a hand, please, at this time? I'll only take a few minutes to talk about the state of health in Liberia today, and I'm not really qualified as a physician or a nurse, but I'm qualified because I've had two opportunities to participate in two medical missions in Monrovia. Just a few statistics, and I'll tell you in a framework why our interest is here, not only as an individual, but also as a member of the Coalition of 100 Black Women in the metropolitan Atlanta area. We're making a great investment in the health mission for the country. According to recent statistics, did you know that only 31% of children are immunized against measles in Liberia? You may not have known that. Did you know that 30% of all major hospitals in the public sector since 1996 have been reduced to health clinics, and only 70% of these remain out of commission? Did you know that in 1989 there were over 5,000 healthcare workers in Liberia, including over 237 physicians and specialists? And today, my friends, my people, there are fewer than 50 Liberian physicians practicing in the country. And this is unacceptable. Some people have called me on the phone and sent me emails, well, why are we talking about health care? You know, we're here to talk about investment in Liberia. But I beg you, my people, if we're not talking about health care, we have to have a healthy workforce back home.
Good morning to all of you. First, I want to say thanks to Cynthia for the invitation, and also to the ambassador and other government officials here present. Education is a very key issue as it relates to the development of Liberia, and I've decided to talk about quality education, challenges, and alternative strategies. As we are aware, the 14-year war was very devastating to Liberia. It destroyed our infrastructure. It has resulted in a large number of our school-aged kids not receiving any type of formal education. It resulted in unwed teenage mother. A large number of our children engaged in drug abuse and delinquency, and children being abused and neglected by their parents. These conditions have placed our children at risk to become adults who, if not educated, will become unemployed or unemployable. It becomes the highest priority of us. Education should play a vital role given the fact that education facilitates poverty reduction and is a major contributor to the development of a healthy nation. Okay? So we have to understand, especially with the war, we have many of our kids who are overgrown. They cannot sit in the classroom with the little kids. So you have to have a program to accommodate these kids. Because by doing that, what you're doing, they will get jobs to be able to contribute to the economy. The crime rate will definitely go down. Because if there's no job, he or she has to go out and find means to support the family. So the long run is that we are going to benefit. Okay? So, but I think that you may think it's almost impossible, but I think with a plan, we can make a difference.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're awake and excited about your country as you forge ahead to bring back this power of Africa. Even though I'm Ugandan, I can lend you that little adage that you can't be the power of Africa. Amen. Kea started in 1946, right after the Second World War, and as you all know, the world was in shambles, or let's say Europeans were in shambles. Europe had done what you are going through. They had devastated their little part of real estate, and they had destroyed all the infrastructure. And what had happened at the time was that America and indeed others were thinking of how to bring back these people from the depredation of war. And what American people did was to put together care packages. If you all know about care packages, they say with care. And so Americans sent these packages to the Europeans, and guess what was in the package? There was cigars or cigarettes, candy, and a famous American cuisine called spam. Guess who was the first recipient of the care package? A French young girl who, if you know anything about the French and food, this must have been a devastating reception from the American population. But, you know, we believe that that's where the fight between Americans and the French began. Your ministers are not there to give you money. Your pastor is not here to be a servant, even though he will be. But they're here to facilitate change and make sure that you are part of that change. There's nothing like a diaspora that is dormant and unworthy of what everybody at home is hoping will be the truth and the investment that they need from you. You as the diaspora are the ones the Bible talks about when it says, to whom much is given, much is expected.
My beloved brother, thank you so much. We appreciate those incredible words of encouragement about care returning to Liberia. We're going to take only about 5 or 6 minutes for Q&A, and then we're going to go on to the next panel before we have lunch. So I know we're running about 30, maybe 40 minutes behind, so thank you for your patience. Yes, sir, if you could, the mic is coming. If you could state your name and address your question to the right person, please.
This question is addressed to you, since you are involved with healthcare. My name is John Harrison. I'm the CEO of RH2 Technologies, located in Riverdale. I'm also a board member of the Liberian Environmental Watch organization, headed by Morris Kofa. I'd just like to ask you one thing. In this whole program, there's nothing about environment there. And you can have the best health facility and the best doctors, but if you don't have a healthy environment to operate and to live in, healthcare is going to be like needless. So what do you have in plan for environmental cleanup?
We have experts here, I'm sure the ambassador and Dr.
Thank you very much for your question there on the environment. Right now in the country we have set up just the newly created Environmental Protection Agency of Liberia, and we have also put into place some environmental laws. And in those laws right now it is required that you cannot carry on any development without doing an environmental impact assessment, and it's very mandatory right now. So the environment is being considered almost in every aspect of our national development. And under the pillar of infrastructure and the economic pillar, the environment is really figured out there in those pillars. So the environment is being considered seriously. Thank you.
Hello, I am Evangelist Liberia Dent, founder of Living Sacrifice Ministries, Sisters International Mercy Medical Center of Jackson, Mississippi. In addition to being a minister, I'm also a registered nurse. I'm going to be traveling to Liberia later this month. I've been invited to minister. But while there, I was going to do some health care things for them and look into setting up a health care clinic in the area where there are the very poor and needy. I have a doctor who donated me some antibiotics to take with me there, and I've been in touch with the Ministry of Health in Liberia to get permission to bring these antibiotics into the country. Not only that, I spoke with a surgeon that I work with in California, Dr. Jaryeneh, who is willing to go on a mission trip with me as well. And some of my colleagues are willing to go with me next year on a medical mission. So my point is, how difficult would it be to start a medical clinic there to provide health care for the needy in those areas? I'm planning to take along my blood pressure cuffs, the glucometers to check blood sugars, and perhaps if someone would donate something so I can check cholesterol while I'm there. Not only that, Sisters International is a ministry for women of all races in every country. And one of our purposes is to teach women health care. Women health, how to improve their health in general. And not only that, for men as well, because some of them don't take care of the one body that we get to live in. So I want to know what kind of challenges or what kind of obstacles would I run into in trying to provide these needs for the people in this area?
Thank you, Beth.
Oh, sure.
Thank you very much. I think that is an important question. Let me try to answer in the context of this event. First and foremost, the government of Liberia is asking the private sector to take the lead in the economy. The government, however, realizes that where the private sector has not taken the initiative, it has the responsibility, and therefore it is seriously looking at improving all of the health facilities around the country to deliver free health care to the majority of the people, and particularly those that cannot afford to cover it themselves. However, as you know, we've historically had private doctors operating their own health facilities throughout the country all the time. Unfortunately, some of them left, but there are clinics and hospitals that are privately owned. Some of them have been sold. The Copper Clinic, for instance, was once owned by the late Dr. Nehemiah Cooper, who, after he died, the family sold it to a charity organization that is running it as a private commercial clinic. Recently, we lost Dr. Salif, and I'm sure the family will consider a group of doctors wishing to acquire that and offer services in that area to people who are willing to pay. So while it is true the government will do all it can to facilitate health delivery to its citizens. We are inviting people who wish to go start clinics, and you think you can make money from that, certainly proceed, and the government will give you all of the support you need.
I'm a neurosurgical nurse, and I'm a member of the CSI, which is the a member of CHIP, which is the Children Health International Program, and we work along with CSI, which is the surgical team. We'll be going to Liberia sometimes in January, but I'm leaving early to do an assessment. You did mention about the Delta trip, and there are other members that I spoke with who are concerned about help. We are all volunteers. We're paying our own way, but if there's any way you can help us, we are all nurses. I'm a registered nurse, neurosurgical, and I'm willing now to donate myself and my expertise to my country. I'm going back home. I'm going back home. I've worked in all areas except for children. I've done everything, AIDS, cancer, orthopedic surgery, everything, and I'm willing to work. I've spoken with another doctor who's going home, and he already talked to me on being on his team. But the thing about it, we want to know how can we get help, especially from the 100 Black women. These are all nurses that are here who will be going home in December. And that's the question. When I mentioned I was coming to this meeting, they wanted to know how can they get any kind of assistance.
Thank you so much for your question. And HART, Dr. James Sirleaf, Delta Airlines, and the Coalition of 100 Black Women is around the ticket program, basically. And we do have complimentary tickets as well as discount tickets. What I'd like to do is really like a 60-40 split, 70-30 split with HART and the Coalition. Of course, the majority of the tickets are designated, of course, for HART, in that they are really galvanizing the nurses, the doctors, all of the medical teams. So I would again suggest that you get on that webpage, www.heart.net, and be in touch. There's, I think, Dr. Kula has also been online to begin to engage in that conversation of going back home on these medical missions. They absolutely make that determination through their board in terms of who will be attending. On the local level here in Atlanta, Georgia, with the coalition, our job is to help leverage that $220,000 Delta gift. So my job is to get with Congressman John Lewis, to get with the other investors here in the City of Atlanta, Allstate Foundation, so we can help supplement those additional costs. And I would love to get a letter from you. I'll give you my card, because I think on a case-by-case basis, if in fact HART has over-assigned their, their tickets to their doctors that they have already identified, we would love to really make sure that we have you engaged on the local level so we don't leave anyone out, because it's just such a critical issue. Thank you very much. Mr. Victor Mbaba is the president of the Africa's Children's Fund. He's been a partner with the Coalition of 100 Black Women as well as LAPI for a very long time, and he has been incredible in terms of his leadership in a program called Gift of Books.
I will continue to partner with her, and she has brought the partnership with Brother Harris to Africa's Children's Fund, and we're making a presentation this morning that we're going to send another 25,000 books to Liberia. Thank you so much.
I'd like to thank Cynthia and our dear brother from Nigeria, who's now in the United States, for this great gift. I'm sure all of our young people will appreciate this, and on their behalf I say to all of you who have contributed to this, thank you very much. God bless you.